Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV. We are officially in Heavensward if the intro movie wasn't telling enough. In the last parts, shit hit the fan and we went to go celebrate a job well done for defending Ishgard. However, stuff happens. Nanamo got poisoned, we got framed for it. We got branded traitors for regicide. And the Scions helped us escape, but by staying behind so that we could get away. Now shit's hit the fan. It's not looking good for us. We've sought out Lord Haurchefant for a way to get into Ishgard, because that's our only option. So Alpha Node, are you ready? We're going to new territory with a new adventure. Oh boy.
暁に再び明かりを灯す。そのためにも最初の一歩を踏み出さねばならないが、あらぬ疑いをかけられたままではできることも少ない。イシュガルドの地で再起をというタタルの言葉にも一理あるとは思う。君とタタルだけでもかの地に赴き、私はウルダハに戻って。
It's not a good idea, sir. That's a very bad idea.
焦りは禁物ですぞ、アルフィノ殿。
オルシュファン殿。
ウルダハの動乱の真意を解明し、身の潔白を明らかにしたいのは理解できます。しかしこのような苦境にあればこそ焦りは禁物というもの。それにあなたには頼もしい仲間がおられるでしょう。
He's right. Don't do anything reckless. We've already lost too many as it is.
そうでしたね。私はもう一人ではないんだ。
朗報を持ってきましたぞ。我がフォルタン家当主エドモンド・フォルタン伯爵がお三方の後見人となることを申し出てくださりましてな。これによりお三方はイシュガルド四大名家の一つフォルタン家の庇護下に置かれた正式な客人としてコートに入ることが可能となりました。
ナイス。
まずは本家の屋敷を拠点に情報を集めながら今後の方針を固めるといいでしょう。反撃ののろしを上げるのはそれからでも遅くはありません。
All right. Got a place to go.
わかりました。ではご好意に甘えさせていただきます。感謝いたします、オルシュファン殿。
当主はアイメリク総長と同様に話のわかるお方だ。きっとお前にもいい対応をしてくださるだろう。後ほど会おうぞ、友よ。
行こう。千年の戦を続ける聖教の都コートイシュガルドへ。暁の思いを無にしないために私たちの戦いをもう一度始めるために。
はいです。
All right, let's do it. New lands, new possibilities. I must go on ahead and speak with the Count. Fear not, however, for everything has been arranged. The sentries at the gates of judgment have been informed of our decision. You need to but state your names and they'll allow you to pass. My manservants shall be waiting for you at the city gates, ready to escort you to our manor, where we shall meet again. Until then. Alright. We're Heavensward. We're Ishgard bound. Can't say we're Heavensward bound because we're already in Heavensward. Alright. We can finally get to see what's inside the city that we've flown by so many times. Wards of House Four Toms? Ah, yes, you may pass. Sweet, here we go!
その者はわずかな友を伴いやってきた。陰謀により血で汚された祝賀会を出したかつての英雄はあらぬ汚名を着せられ今や追われる身である。それでもなお再起を信じ失われた仲間と希望を探し求め彼らは歩み続けていた。
ほう。ほほほ。Oh, look at this place.
落ちた英雄が訪れたのは北方の地クルザスを領する山の都イシュガルド。国境イシュガルド正教の長たる教皇が王権を有し先人ハルオーネを主神とする宗教都市国家である。四大名家率いる貴族たちが剣と槍を掲げ旧敵ドラゴン族から都市を守り戦い続ける。粒子戦争とも呼ばれる1000年もの果てなき戦いを。固く閉ざされた大神門の扉を開き歴史あるコートに足を踏み入れた光の戦士たち。彼ら違法の者たちの到来が1000年の歴史を揺るがす変革の始まりとなることをこの時知る者はいなかった。
Heavensward. We've made it. We've made it. Oh yeah, I took a weapon out because I attended a wedding while I was off video. Greetings, Mistress Rai. On behalf of House Four Toms, I bid you welcome to Ishgard. My lord humbly requests your presence at his residence in the Pillars. If you'll all come with me. Place has seen better days. Place has definitely seen better days. Alright, first things first. Before I do anything, to be a machinist, let's get these damn aetherites. Now, I don't want to get a whole lot of story done this part, because in this part, I want to see what I can do for white mage stuff, and so on and so forth. Alright, I gotta go up there now. It's a nice little place. I like the music that goes with it too. This place is gonna get housing in Endwalker. Will I go for the housing on my main? Probably not. Will I go for it on here? Unless I get heaping amounts of gold or gold gil. No. Yo, I tried to stop that. I'm sorry. Ain't my fault. All right. Get this. All right, now we can go forward. Now, I'm going to say this. Each new open area we go to, like out in the field, the maps will not be complete like there was in A Realm Reborn. At least not to my knowledge. Which means, filling the map, that will be off video. Another thing, flight. I've lost the ability to fly. And the only way to get it back is with ether currents, which I don't have. I can't show you right now until we actually get those areas, but you need to find ether currents in order to gain access to flying, and ether currents are available through main quests and side quests and exploration. So the ones from exploration and obviously the side quests will be done off video. And in order to fly, you have to get them all. So I'll save the middle one for when I stroll on over there. I can be an astrologian now. This is when the game starts getting some really good music. And obviously, as I mentioned before, the story gets a way better. Heavensward is it's debated whether or not this is the best expansion or Shadowbringers. A lot of people lean towards Shadowbringers, but for a lot of people this is their favorite. For me, it goes Shadowbringers, Heavensward, Stormblood, and then A Realm Reborn. In terms of from most favorite to least favorite. There's a reason why Heavensward got such high praise, and as we go through the story, you'll see why. And since I'm done with White Knight Chronicles, I can put some dedicated focus into this. That becomes Dark Knight, I believe. The Dark Spectacle. Okay. Once I finish this side quest, I'll pop on back over to my pop out see what's her face to progress with White Mage. The Warrior of Light and her brave companions walk in the streets of Ishgard at last. What a glorious sight. I cannot tell you how long I've waited for this day. Allow me to present you with my family home, Fort Tom's Manor. I would like nothing more than to show you around, but everyone is gathered to receive you. Come, my friends, introduction must be made. Alright.
おろしファン、ただいま暁の皆様をお連れいたしました。
おお、到着したか。よくぞおいでになった暁の方々よ。我が名はエドモンド・フォルタン。お初にお目にかかる。歴史あるフォルタン家の家名を継ぐ者として一同皆様の来訪を心より歓迎しますぞ。
お会いできて光栄です、閣下。この度のお招き誠にありがとうございます。
礼をせねばならぬのはこちらの方というもの。イシュガルドの民を代表し感謝の意を示させてもらいたい。
しかし外様の、しかもお命を着せられた我々を客として迎え入れることに問題はないのでしょうか。
アルフィノ殿は心配性でいらっしゃる。確かに我らがコートイシュガルドはドラゴン族との戦いに専念すべく門戸を閉ざしてきた。だが私はこうした難局にあればこそ国外の勢力と手を取り合うべきだと考えている。無論教皇庁の内部や他の四大名家の中には貴殿らの訪問に眉を潜める者もおりましょう。なればこそエオルゼアの救済のために活動する貴殿らの行動によって誤解を解いてもらいたいのです。
伯爵閣下のお言葉を聞き安心しました。仲間が散り散りになった今、できることは限られましょうが、閣下の思いに応えられるよう努めさせていただきます。
それはありがたい。そうですな。まずはコートの暮らしに慣れるためにも都市内を見回ってきてはいかがかな。イシュガルドで何をなすべきかを考えるのはその後でもよろしかろう。
Already did that. Thanks, guy. I'm one step ahead of you. Alright, before I go forward, we're gonna make a quick pit stop over to my white mage tutor. See what I can do. Since I'm level 60, I can do all the quests, but some quests might take me, I think take me to areas I don't quite have access to yet. I believe in this expansion, you can't go forward and explore future areas. I know they made it so you couldn't do that in Stormblood and Shadowbringers as well. I don't know if they made it, I don't know if they did that same thing with Heavensward. Because in Stormblood and Shadowbringers, new areas were locked behind story. But I don't know if that's the same for the Heavensward stuff. I don't remember. Cecil, you could have not have come at a better time. We have dire need of your aid. There isn't time to explain. No, but that trouble is afoot. I would ask you to meet me at the Guardian Tree. Goddamn, lady, I just got here. But we'll see how many white mage quests I can do. Thankfully, I could still fly in these areas, so I still got that. And plus, with this mount in particular, I'll have one extra mount speed buff or bonus. So at least I'll be a little bit faster as per usual. What's going on here? How fares the Great One? Unchanged from before, I'm afraid. He repeats the same words over and over. Then it falls to us to glean on the reading. Very well. Cecil, you recall the time we performed the quieting and quelled the Great One's rage. Since that day, we have continued communing with him to ensure that all is well, and it was until recently. I'm afraid to say that an unsettling change came over the Great One some days ago. He was taken to repeat the same words to us. The taint floodeth the forest, its beating heart to befoul. After some inquiries and research, we were able to learn that the Great One has spoken these words before during the time of A Toa Kant. Immediately, we were made to wonder. When Master Atoa embarked upon his journey of healing, could his purpose have been to protect the forest from the taint of which the Great One now warns? We sought to delve further into this, but no accounts of Master Atoa's journey are to be found at Stillglade Fane. Such records as exist are in the keeping of his foremost student, the mage who recovered his remains from Gomorrah. If he is still alive, he may be able to assist us. We have prepared a missive and would ask that you deliver it into his hands. After interring his beloved master, the man is said to have taken up residence at Fulgord Float, there that he might ever be near to tend the tomb. If he is there still, the locals should be able to point you in his direction. While you receive this task, my brother and I shall remain here and continue observing the Great One. My thanks in advance, Cecila. God, I'm just Aaron's boy. Aaron boy. Alright. Now, as opposed to things like the beast tribes, I've been thinking about how I wanted to do beast tribes. Obviously the crafter ones are out of my reach right now. You seek Master Atoa's former student. I'm afraid he has departed for the realm yonder. His granddaughter now tends the tomb at Proud Creek in his stead. The truth be told, I'm worried about her. The area is thick with fiends, and even experienced wood whales avoid venturing there unaccompanied. Beast tribes. They're doable once I've unlocked them as I go through the story. It won't be until I leave after I've beaten the base story of Heavensward though. But you know, I can do them off video. I've been thinking about it. They give a good amount of XP. Not amazing XP, but decent XP. That old fellow, I'm afraid that he passed away some years ago. I remember him well though. He took care of his master's tomb to the very end. His daughter Ishgard attends the place now, and she's been especially attentive since those accursed bandits came and defiled it. Toa Khan's old student. I heard that someone's tending the tomb, but it's a young maid as I recall. Alright, where's Ishgard? Uh-oh, Ishgar's in danger. Are you alright? Thank you so much. So focused was I on tending the team, I failed to notice the fiends approaching me. What? You're searching for the granddaughter master Atoa's former student? Then you need search no more. I am Ishgard. I kind of figured that. Know that I have taken on my grandfather's responsibilities. If it is within my power to help the Seed Seers, then I should be glad to do so. The taint threatens the 12's wood? No Fika have mercy. As the Seed Seers have surmised, 'twas to purge the taint of that Master Atoa journeyed the length and breadth of the realm. Simply put, the taint is ether that has been befouled. If we are to rid of it, we must find the source of the corruption and cleanse it. The question is, are the Seed Seers prepared to do as Master Atoa once did? At any rate, it's best I speak with them directly. I shall make my way to the Guardian Tree at once. Alright, back to Bent Branch. That's not Bent Branch, that's Hawthorne. Alright. Away we go. My thanks for finding Ashivia, Sazla. She has told us all. If we are to protect the Twelveswood from the taint, we must needs deal with the corruption at its source. Is that the way of it? It is. That was why Master Atoa embarked upon his journey. He lives of his Pajali. That's something other. And yet Master Atoa was no ordinary Pajal. We are duty bound to remain in the forest. We cannot simply leave it. Cecila, I am loath to ask this of you after all you have already done for us, but the preservation of the Twelveswood is at stake. You're not a Pajali, and hence you are not bound by the laws which binds us. Will you embark upon this quest in our stead? With all due respect, I cannot believe what I'm hearing. You entrusted fate of the forest to an adventurer. Calm yourself and know that Cecila is no ordinary adventurer. Nay, she is a white mage true, chosen by Master Atoa himself to be his successor. She bears his soul crystal and his legacy both. I have every confidence that you'll be able to purge the taint. As such, I would join my voice in my brother's request. Master Atoa's successor? That such an individual existed. I wish to make a request of my own. In his youth, my grandfather served Master Atoa proudly, accompanying him wherever so he went and assisting in purification rituals. It is ever my desire to emulate my grandfather's deeds. If Cecila is to undertake this quest to eliminate the taint, I would likewise accompany and assist her. The journey will be fraught with peril. Are you willing to risk life and limb solely for the sake of emulating your grandfather? I am, my lady, but that is not the whole of it. I cannot sit idly by while a threat encroaches upon the Twelveswood. It is our home, and we each must do our part to protect it. Our part? I see that your heart is true. Very well. Assuming that Cecila consents, and I see no reason why she would not, you have our blessing to accompany her. The fate of the Twelveswood is in your hands. We shall pray for your success. Alright. Leave it to me. I can handle it. Babysitting. We'll need to make plans for the journey. Please come see me at the Fallgore Float. Alright, you two just stand around and I'll go on ahead and babysit. Alright, where are you at? Are you above, or are you... where the hell are you? Where the hell are you, lady? What the hell are you over here for? They call themselves Pagels. You wonder at my irritation, I shouldn't doubt. I suppose I'll have to explain. You see, I was brought up on the tales of Master Atoa's journeys, the sufferings he endured for the sake of the Twelveswood. Young though I was deeply touched by his courage and sacrifice, and to this day his deeds remain close to my heart. That's why it irks me that the Seedseers will not lift a finger to help the forest. But thankfully we have you. As Master Atoa's chosen, you're far more dependable than any Pagel alive. Now then, let us speak of our journey. Grandfather left his records of Master Atoa's journeys under my keeping. I shall scour them for clues as to where he must go. While I do this, pray attend to your own preparations. I shall be here when you're ready to strike out. I am. I've been full ready. Now, rather than job quests being increments of 5 levels, it's now 2 levels. So look at that. Secret of the Lily. It's a trait. We get our first healing gauge. You come in a good time, Cecila. I believe I have found a clue in my grandfather's records. There is a passage which tells of the time when their taint reached the forest via the subterranean water vein. Master Atoa traced it back to its source at Albalfield's spine, and then there he purged the corruption. Lest you wonder, it is the mention of the water vein that interests me. Allow me to explain. Though not the danger of the Twelzo has become so dire as to elicit empathetic warnings from the Great One, none of the Padulas or hearers were aware of it. If we then consider the Great One's warning that the Tane shall flood the forest, I am inclined to conclude that the befouled ether is now conveyed via water veins. Years have passed since Master Otoa purged the taint. A new source of corruption may well manifest in the intervening time. At first, I suggest we should take our investigation to the central highlands of Korthus, which form the southern edge of Albalfield's spine. Pray maybe at Camp Dragonhead. Alright. Going a little out of the way for this, but okay. Oops. Since I've unlocked the foundation now, I kind of have to go down here. That's right, I didn't attune to the ether that's in front of Porchefon's Manor. I can do that when I'm back in Ishgard. I want to see how many of these I can knock out. Everything is frozen over. I had read about the snow-swept mountains of Korthus, but no amount of reading could substitute for seeing. I have a confession to make. This is my first time setting foot outside the Twelvewood. The experience has proven to be once fascinating and frightening. But I digress. While I waited your arrival, I spoke with some of the knights about water veins. They say that one passes beneath the area just south of here. The area happens to be thick with fiends, and these fiends happen to have grown unnaturally aggressive of late. I would wager the Taint is to blame for this change. A short while ago, a band of knights departed from the area in question on a mission to call the unruly creatures. Shall we go and join them? If we must. Oh, the Dark Sprite. My suspicions were correct. The Taint has driven the fiends into a frenzy. Let us aid the knights and see to the cleansing. Okay. I'll tend the fiends. Focus on mending our hurts. Alright. Curses! Fiends are drawn to the Taint! Is there no end to them? God damn. We're almost done. Well, that was fun. Gotta purify some purple energy. Yes, energy, soothing and pure. Tis precisely as my grandfather wrote. And your soul crystal, I believe, has taken on a new radiance. In all likelihood, the spirit master Artoa within was bestowed upon you greater power. I wonder, could it be that act of purifying service to empower the white mage? If this is true, it makes Plagiaulus refuse to leave the forest even more incomprehensible. How long will they allow their laws to dictate their actions of the detriment of reason? At any rate, there is not more to do here. Let's return to Camp Dragonhead. Okay. That's not what I wanted to do. Madam! Let's review what we've learned. As we suspected, the Tane is being born along subterranean water veins. According to my grandfather's records, the headwater of the vein we just visited is situated further to the west. Unfortunately, it lies beyond the holy sea of Ishgard. As foreigners, we will require special permission to pass through the city. I shall contact Stillglade Fane and request to have the Elder Seeds here issue us with the necessary papers. Of course, we're one of the seed seers here. We would not have to go through all this hassle. I shall survey the lay of the land in order to ascertain our next destination. Meanwhile, I suggest you take the time to accustom yourself to your newfound power. I shall be here when you're ready to resume our mission. I have access to Ishgard. Sucks for you, though. By purifying the tank, you have honed your abilities as a white mage. I've unlocked Asylum, and I've locked the healer gauge. Alright. Nice. So, well, let me pop into my HUD real quick and get this situated. Right there. Cool, my stone will upgrade. I'm terribly sorry for the wait, Cecila. It was taking me a while, but our request to pass through Ishgard has been granted. We may not continue on to the Western Highlands. At first, I suggest we make a brief stop in Falcon's Nest. If there's there have been an anomaly in the area, the locals or something. I don't know if I can get to Falcon's Nest. So, let me teleport to Ishgard real quick. Might have to continue with the story. Let's see if Ethernet. The airship dock is over here. Sea of Clouds, Sea of Clouds. Foundation. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Let's see if I can actually exit the city. Is it up here or is it down there? Can't tell. Might be up here. Yeah, see how it's gated off? I have to actually continue the story until I actually get access to Falcon's Nest. Well, I tried. It's gonna be like that for other areas too of Heavensward. It's gonna prevent me from progressing until I actually get into those areas. So like I can't go on ahead like 2 zones from here and fill out the map and vice versa, and etc, etc. And since I haven't been attuned to any of the Aetherites, no one can take me, no one can Uber me over there. Although, no, wouldn't work. Oh, maybe. Of course, well, it's a thought for later. Don't mind me. I'm thinking aloud here. Alright, let's get attuned to this. Alright. Alpha node. It's nice because the story quests, they actually give you high quality gear as rewards. They actually sell for, they sell for, I don't know how well they sell now, but they used to sell for a decent amount. Not like jaw-dropping gil amounts, but though our friends in the House 4 Times have been generous enough to extend our their protection, we must take care not to impose too much on their hospitality. If it is only proper that we learn about our new home, that we might become more self-sufficient. It'll take a while to learn the lay of the land, but learn it we must. Then there's the markets and taverns. We need to know where to shop and where to hear small talk. It would seem a tour of the city is indeed in order. I thank you for your counsel, my lord. My companions and I shall of course do as you suggest. Very good. Then my manservant shall accompany you. He will be able to answer any questions you might have. But I grow forgetful. My dotage. There is something I must give you ere I part. Their documentation is in order, I must. Yes, my lord. What's this? Those documents identify you as wards of House 4 Times. Given that our borders have remained closed for decades, many of my countrymen are unaccustomed to trading with foreigners. Should anyone happen to question your presence here, it may prove necessary to remind them that you remain under the protection of House 4 Times. But let us hope that it should not come to that. Rest assured that we shall do our utmost to avoid any situation which might compel us to invoke your name. Cecil Tataru, the city awaits. Let's go. All right. Back to the pillars. All right. As this is your first time in our fair city, pray permit me to show you to the Hopland, from whence we may gaze upon the splendor of the Holy Vault. Though all other sides pale in comparison, 'tis only meet that you see it first. I shall then show you around the jeweled crozier. I'm going with that, where you may purchase all manner of goods and services before descending to the foundation's Aetherite Plaza. If there are no questions. Okay. at this big building. The Hopland stone, named for the bronze great shield borne by our nation's patron deity, is the largest plaza in Ishgard. The magnificent cathedral to the north, of course, is the Holy Vault. The vault is both Ishgard's seat of government and the residence of the Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. Begging your pardon, the statues to the south, are they perchance Thordan's famed Knights 12? Very good, Master Alphanode. They are the fathers of Ishgard, the brave knights who joined King Thordan the First to put down Nidhogg and found his great nation. Ours is a city rich in history and tradition, and there is much you can learn by exploring the pillars, time permitted, of course. Now then, if you'll allow me to follow me to the Jeweled Crozier, I shall introduce you to Mistress Elise, our master of the markets. Ishgard may not be my favorite city to visit. I mean, it's not a bad city. It's better than Ul'dah. It may not be my most travel to, I should say, but it's definitely got great music to it. Well, you're clearly not locals or traveling peddlers, which makes you all... Ah, wards of House Four Toms. How very interesting. Count Edmund has granted us leave to remain in Ishgard for as long as we wish, which may be some time. Accordingly, we will have need of our sundry goods, hence our desire to make your acquaintance. That is, of course, assuming you are content to accept the custom of foreigners. Should you be uncomfortable... Young sir, we do not discriminate in matters of money. If you have coin to spend, who are we to refuse it? Weapons, armor, accoutrements, medicine, materials, whatever you desire, it can be found in the Crozier. Our merchants will be more than happy to accommodate you, as you shall soon see. Our next destination is the Aetherite Plaza and Foundation. If everyone is ready... God, this music never gets old. And here we have the Foundation's Aetherite Plaza. If you have yet to attune to the Aetherite, it would be wise to do so now. I've already one step ahead of you, sir. Now, normally I go for the coins, but I kind of want to see how much these would go for money. I'll snag one, throw it up in the market, and see how much it would sell for. As for our next destination... Maybe we should decide together. What else can be found nearby? The Skysteel manufactory stands in the west. There are engineers conceive and manufacture weapons to use against the dragons. The holy stables, where chocobos are trained for war, will also lie in that direction. To the north and east can be found the congregation of our knights most heavenly, while to the south and east, well, it would be best if you avoid that area. And why is that? I fear our knights may not be able to ensure your safety in the lowest levels, Master Alphanode. Hold your nose when you get past the brum, little lord. A delicate flower like you is like to wilt in our fumes. You misjudge me, sir, for I am no lord but a humble traveler. Oh, come to see the sights, have ye? Take a turn down Hopland and gawp out the statues? Well, if you've in mind to learn about how the better half live, come and have a drink at the Forgotten Knight, if your nursemaid'll let ye. My humblest apologies, Master Alphanode. Pray pay that drunken lout no mind. Oh, I must. Well, but I must. It would not do to refuse such a heartfelt invitation. Yes, I simply must see this Forgotten Knight for myself. I trust you see the wisdom in this, Sensla. There are a few sources of information more abundant than a bustling local hostelry. Not that I expected to hear any news of our missing comrades just yet. Nevertheless, who can say what we might learn of recent events? Then I'm coming too. Huh. Alright, I think I'll do this. I'll finish up this one quest and then wrap things up. It's gonna be a relatively short part for this one. Well, I don't know. Might do a few more. We'll see. The music's changed. That's not good. Must say, this is rather unusual. Not just one, but a whole party of fresh new faces in my tavern. We but recently arrived in Ishgard and are eager to acquaint ourselves with her more notable establishments. Master Gibrons. Just Gibrons will do. And I'm flattered you think so highly of my establishment. I can't promise to live up to your expectations, but if it's decent food and drink you're after, you can do no much worse. Judging by the number of customers I see here, I suspect your fare is rather more than decent. Speaking of your clientele, I could not help but note a difference between those who frequent the upper and lower levels. Spotted that, did you? Aye, up here you'll find peddlers, porters, off-duty knights, and so forth, drop in on their way or to or from somewhere else. Regulars, maybe, but not locals. But folks from the Brum, they tend to congregate downstairs, where we offer a menu more suitable to their tastes. Cheaper meals, stronger spirits, all quality mind, but not the stuff you gotta recommend it yourselves. You speak to the lowest levels, yes? Why do they call them the Brum, if I ask? Because when the weather's foul and the Brum rolls in thick, it's the poor sods living at the bottom who have to deal with it. I see. And it's not just the weather. When the wyverns broke through the wards and started tearing up the city, it was the Brum that got the worst of it, while the pillars enjoyed the protection of the high houses and the temple knights. More and a few people are still sore about that, mind, which is why, considering your present company, I'd recommend you keep your wits about you if you mean to go below, and something sharp in your boot, just to be sure. I shall take your words to heart, sir. Master Alphanode, I think it would be best if we return to Fort Trump's Manor. You go on ahead without me. I'm staying for a drink or two. Mr. Taru, I'm afraid that's out of the question. My lord the Count would never forgive me if I abandoned one of his charges in such a place. Least of all, a maiden. What are you up to, Totaro? Look around, Alphanode. This tavern is full of people whose business regularly takes them beyond the gates of judgment. With friends like that, I could practically live here and wait for the newest gossip to come to me. Indeed, but will you be safe here on your own? Oh, please. Do you know how often I looked out to the waking sands and the rising suns by myself? If I had a gift for every unwelcome call I've driven away, I'd be rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'll be fine. Not that I doubt the lady's knack for fending off unwanted advances, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let anyone lay any unwelcome hand on a patron in my establishment. That settles it then. Totaro, Sessa and I shall return to the manor for now. Contact me by link pro if you require assistance. I will. Alright, Totaro. The last vigil. Well, come, Mistress Rice. Come, show. Okay, yes. Well, tell us then, Master Alphino, does Ishgard meet with your expectations? That which I imagine pales in comparison to the reality. I felt the weight of 1,000 years of history with every step I took. And then those steps took me past the scars left by the wyverns and Foundation. I understand how easily that history could end in tragedy. The attack was devastating. The casualties unspeakable. The wyverns did not discriminate. Unarmed men and women, even children, were given no quarter. Great. Sir Imric has ordered his knights to strengthen our defenses, and each of the houses have been called upon to lend what support it can. There is much to be done, yet alas, able-bodied men and women are in short supply. Mayhap we could be of assistance, my lord. After all you have done for us, we will be welcoming any opportunity to repay your kindness. I didn't take the picture off. That is a most generous offer, Master Alphanode. You are guests in my home to whom I have extended my hospitality without obligation, let or lien. Nevertheless, Ishgard's need is great, and if you are willing to aid our cause, I cannot well refuse. Good. What would you ask of us? From what I heard, you are an intelligent and persuasive young man. Such qualities may prove most useful to us in our efforts to secure provisions from foreign sources, identifying trustworthy suppliers, brokering contracts, and so on. That sounds right up his alley. As for Mistress Rye, I can ask for no one better than a sturdy veteran such as yourself, a woman with the capacity to act swiftly and decisively when needed, to aid Artorial and Monolane in their duties. I beg your pardon. I am more than capable of carrying out my duty by myself. I have no need for our honored guest's assistance. Now, be reasonable, brother. What manner of fool would you say no when a famous hero offered to do his work? Hold your tongues. By the fury of the two, you will conduct yourselves with dignity but befitting your station and show Mistress Rye the respect she deserves. This is the woman who slew Gaius von Belisar and some half-dozen prowlers besides. She's not here to steal your glory or to serve as your errand girl. If you can pardon them for their impropriety, Mistress Rye, I should be much obliged if you lend my sons a helping hand. My thanks. Very willing, they may even learn something from you. Twould seem we shall not want for employment over the coming days, though that was never in doubt. Our host's initial reluctance to accept our offer of aid was solely for the appearance's sake. In truth, he is glad of this opportunity to put us to work. By granting us patronage, House Four Times has taken on a tremendous risk. Until we demonstrate our work to Ishgard at large, the Count will face considerable opposition from his peers in matters great and small. Since so, he would have us publicly serve Ishgard, while simultaneously keeping his sons in check. It is an arrangement we may benefit from in unexpected ways. My own duties may feasibly bring me into contact with people who know something of our missing comrades. As you go about helping our two lords with their various responsibilities, you will inevitably make new acquaintances in Ishgard, mayhap even new allies. Yes, the more I think on it, the more confident I am about furthering our goals. We shall further our own. Alright, cool. Alright, I'm going to end it here. When we come back, we will hit up the lords, see where they want us to go, and see what duties we have to do. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you then. Later.